As before we introduce the starting lineups tonight, we want to do a very special recognition. Last Tuesday night at Hayesville, our Lady Knights head coach, Lucas Ford, picked up his 100th career victory as head coach of Robbinsville. He's 138 at this time. Let's have a nice hand for Lucas Ford. And now introducing the starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Blue Ridge, a junior, number 1, Vanessa Russell. A senior, number 4, Mercedes McLaughlin. A sophomore, number 12, Isabella Moody. A senior, number 15, Macy Helsey. And number 21, a senior, Mahali Stewart. And now, make some noise for your Robbinsville Lady Knights. From St. Tila, number 3, Addie Winner. From East Buffalo, number 4, Jessica Troll. A sophomore from Comfort Buffalo, number 23, Liz Cookender. A senior from Lorraine High, Splendor number 24, Kinsley Phillips. And a junior from Old St. Titland, 44, Aubrey Whitechacha. Hey, a little late to the party, but still right on time. Welcome back to the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and the one and only Montana Buchanan with us for tonight's telecast of Lady Knights and later on Varsity Black Knights basketball. We are back home for the first time in ages, it seems like, and we welcome you fans that are watching here on GramstarSports.com. No score here with about 7 minutes left in the opening quarter. And we're very privileged to have you with us. Desta Trammell just erased that with a three-pointer. Give the assist to Kinsley Phillips. And it's 3-0 here in the opening stanza. Abby Ware hustling out there. Freshman getting the starting nod here tonight. That's good to see. Off the steal, Phillips will set up for a corner three for Trammell, and she'll hit it. Back-to-back threes, back-to-back assists for Kinsley Phillips, and it's 6-0 here in the first quarter. And a two-point basket for the Bobcats will erase their shutout. At the moment, number 12, that is Isabella Moody, making the drop. Got a lot to recap in this week's edition of the Gram Star. We hope you guys are buying every single copy every single week. And I know you're not, or else I wouldn't be talking about it. So be sure and get out and grab your copy of this week's Gram Star. 3 big games have been played this week. Unfortunately, Robbinsville has came up on the losing end, traveling over to Cott County, Tennessee, and traveling to Pisgah on Monday. And that did not yield the results
that the Robbinsville program wanted in general. We've not had a single victory for a Robbinsville team since last Tuesday at Hayesville. And this is actually, believe it or not, folks, the first time that Robbinsville has played a home game since December the 16th. 6-2 your score here in the first quarter. Appreciate all of you great fans tuning in with us here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Rebound by Aubrey Wachacha inside, and a battle for the ball ensues. Junk ball will be called. Possession stays with Robbinsville. Lady Bobcats are 4-6 this season. Lady Knights come into tonight's game with a record of 8-4. Wachacha again with the rebound. Will chuck it out to Des to Trammell, and that'll be all she wrote. Rebound made and brought back up the floor here by Mahaley Stewart. For the Bobcats. Corner three attempt now for Stewart off of Abby Ware's push. I think she might have got her foot stamped on there a little bit. 6-5 with 4:55 left here in the first stanza. Ware, good pass over to the left side to Kinsley Phillips. Trammell again for a corner three. This time it's nothing but net. How about 3 assists for Kinsley Grace and 3 for Desta Trammell? That's 9 points so far. She's taking care of all the offense. And a timeout is called. Back in just a moment. Back live from Robbinsville. 9-5 Lady Knights here in the first quarter. And we appreciate all of you great White Knight fans tuning in with us. Of course, up next will be Varsity Boys action. This will sadly be our only telecast of the week, as Robbinsville will head back out on the road Friday. It's a Friday the 13th matchup, and snow is in the forecast, so that should be an interesting variable. May not get to play the game. We'll see how that goes. Kinsley Phillips picks off the inbound, passes to Trammell. 4th assist, and Trammell's first inside the paint makes it 11-5. Basket counts, foul called. So the and one coming, foul is on Vanessa Russell. That'll be her first of the ball game. And that's 12 points now for Destiny Shea here in the first quarter. And Aubrey Wachacha is going to take a breather. Surrey Waddy, freshman, will check in. And they're going to change up the way they're running this offense here in the first quarter. Robbinsville now on a 3-quarter press. Looking to make an impact. Pass over to the right side. Good passes all around. Bobcats being very tentative. Nothing wrong with that. And rebound. Fought out and won by Abby Ware. Pass up the floor. Phillips to Trammell again. 5 assists. 14 points. Sparse crowd on hand here tonight. Again, it's our first home game since December the 16th. And it's still a decent turnout, at least if you're a Robbinsville fanatic. Not too many folks here from Jackson County. Shot will just get deterred. Nice and easy. Good pressure by freshman Abby Ware, making the most of her second start of the season. And on the inbound, Ware will pick it off and pass it to senior point guard Desta Trammell. Aubrey Wachacha and Liz Carpenter will now check out. (14-5) here in the first stanza. Good to have you with us, folks, on GramstarSports.com. Rebound taken by Stewart, and breaking the press is not an easy feat for anyone, much less the Blue Ridge Lady Bobcats. 3 minutes to go here in the opening salvo tonight. And a foul call. That'll get the Blue Ridge faithful on their feet. First foul of the game called on Robbinsville. And it goes against Abigail Ware. That is her first of the evening. So the and one coming for Stewart, and it'll be no good. Kinsley Phillips going to try for three. That'll be off. Nice. Rebound pulled down by McLaughlin. And back up the floor go the Lady Cats. And another steal for Abby Ware. That's three here in the first quarter. Robbinsville just picking apart this Blue Ridge offense. Hey, don't take nothing away from the Lady Knights. They have something to prove here tonight. How about Trammell swapping efforts with Kinsley Phillips, and a corner three almost goes in. Rebounded and put back up easy peasy by Aubrey Wachacha. 16-7 is your score. Another steal, this time by Surrey Waddy. And two more for Desta Trammell. Give Ware the assist that time. And it is 18-7 timeout call with 1:44 to go here in the first. Welcome back, fans, to Robbinsville. Into the first quarter, 21-9 is your split, and that's in favor of the homestanding Lady Knights. Lost our stream there for a second. Not entirely sure why, but we apologize for the interruption. Missed about a minute of action there. Lost it during a timeout. Not a good time to ever lose your stream, but nonetheless, onward we roll. 7:36 left here in the half. Kinsley Phillips will drive into the paint and get picked off. And the action picks up hot and heavy. Ball goes out. Last touch by Vanessa Russell. So Desta Trammell and Kinsley Phillips will tag team the effort to get it back in bounds. Three-pointer gets airmailed and rebounded by Blue Ridge. Ball comes loose. Kinsley Phillips more than happy to pick up the pieces, so to speak. So 21-9 here in the second quarter. Two-pointer will take care of things from Trammell. 23-9. Long launch. Nothing doing on the pull down, however. Good cleanup by McLaughlin for two. That'll make it 23-11 here in the second quarter. Foul called on Vanessa Russell. I believe that's actually her first of the night. Not a foul-heavy game. Check out, that's actually Miss Russell's second. I stand corrected. 6:19 to go before the break. Well, since our stream died, folks, we've somehow lost the ability to put our scoreboard up, even though our sponsors, season long, of course, Blevins Insurance and Blevins Electric, on full display on the screen. So we'll work on that as quick as we can and try to get that resolved. Ball stolen away. Chacha chunks it to Desta Trammell. Kinsley Phillips across the floor to Surrey Waddy, who lets it slip through her fingers. And that'll be all she wrote for that one. 5:42 to go in the half. Heltzy just driving right through a double-team effort. No fear, but the effort is thwarted. Turnover 2. Lady Knights, excuse me, I about lost my voice there for a second. Been a long day at the Grand Star office trying to get the paper out on deadline. Hope all of you great fans are checking out our product each and every week. Of course, the Grand Star, our core product, here at GramstarSports.com. It's been your hometown newspaper since 1955. How about a jumper inside for two? Liz Carpenter gets in the scorebook. Give the assist to Destiny Shea. Her first assist here tonight. 25-11 is the score. Quick feed in. And a foul called. Good work by Heltzley to draw the foul. Wachacha will get rung up for infraction number 2 with 4:40 to go. And Heltzley will go 1 of 2. And that'll make it 25-12. And ball careens out. On the inbound, putback, foul called. He's getting a little testy inside here in the second quarter. We hope you fans were able to be with us when we broadcast for the very first time with graphics, of course, last week at Cotton County, Tennessee, something we've been looking forward to doing for a very long time. And finally able to make it happen thanks to our friends at Computer Resolution here in Robbinsville. A 1-and-1 effort, or one and done, I should say, for Stewart. And on the rebound was Katie Lynn Gross. Here's Abby Ware scooting out to the edge of the arc. Rebound again, Katie Lynn. And ball is knocked away. Last touched by the Lady Bobcats. 4:20 to go here in the second quarter. Number 22, that's Peyton Bryson, that just reeled that one in off the airmail. And back up the floor we go. And timeout called by Blue Ridge with 3:54 to go here in the half. We'll be back in just a moment on the Gramstar Sports Network. 25-13 Robbinsville with 3:54 to go in the half as we come back to you live and in living color on GramstarSports.com. On the inbound, nothing doing. And how about a kick out from Bryson to Russell? Bucket put up again, and it's going to get pulled away. Rebounded by Liz Carpenter, sophomore forward for the Lady Knights. Abby Ware for 3 and won't get it. Bryson with the putback. Jumper for 2, and Abby Ware will hustle for the rebound, but won't get there before Vanessa Russell does. The Trammell playing her close, and looks like everybody comes out unscathed. High feed in. There's the pass and the basket. Number 21, Mahaley Stewart. And don't look now, it's a 10-point ball game for the Bobcats here in the second quarter. Inslee Phillips gets out of trouble. Rebound for Liz Carpenter will result in a foul. I don't see, they charged on number 2, or I believe that's number 15. I'm so sorry. That's Miss Heltzley with her first of the night, as a matter of fact. Carpenter to the line, misses her first. Still one to go. As we mentioned, fans, Robbinsville has competed in a couple of tough matchups here lately. First, they were in the Smoky Mountain Christmas Classic at Smoky Mountain High School in Silva over the holidays. And Robbinsville's Lady Knights went 2-0 in the tournament, knocking off Smoky Mountain and Brevard. The Black Knights actually suffered their first defeat of the year in a rematch against Smoky Mountain. But came back and beat Veritas Christian Academy and Brevard to go 2-1 in the tournament. And Robbinsville traveled to Hayesville for a quick conference check-in, checked back out, and traveled to Newport, Tennessee on Friday. Cobb County defeating the Lady Knights 63-48. We had that game here on Graham Star Sports. We hope you were able to join us for it. If you were not, beautiful facility, and we want to give a special shout out to everyone helping us make that telecast possible. And then, of course, last night the Knights traveled over to Pisgah. We were not able to get broadcasting access in Canton, but it was another 4-game set, and the teams were unable to come out on the winning side. Lady Knights actually trounced in a rare occurrence, 74-33. Pisgah just has a wonderful team. Can't put them over enough. And a foul is called. That'll turn the ball over, I believe. That is number 4 on the Lady Knights as a unit. And that's Aubrey Wachacha on her second foul of the evening. Had a good groove going there for a while as far as offense goes on both sides. And now we've kind of grinded to a halt here. It's been a 6-4 second quarter in favor of Robbinsville. Rebounded, good effort. Boy, she is fighting hard in there is Miss McLaughlin, and she will take a foul off of Liz Carpenter, I believe, might have been rung up on that one. And she was. That's actually her second of the evening. And her first foul shot will careen off. And we'll try it again. And she misses her second, rebounded by Carpenter. .40 seconds left. A steal for the Bobcats may get them another basket here before the break. Rebounded by Abby Ware, so that will not get the job done. Still 25-15. Fancy footwork by Surrey Waddy. Fouled as she shoots it, but they're not going to call it. And Waddy may have got the last basket of the period. And the half, for that matter. We'll see here in just a moment. And a drive on the other end resulted in a hard head-on collision. I think everyone's okay. See who the foul was charged to. It was on Liz Carpenter. That is her third. My. And that'll be 1 of 2 at the line for Stewart. And that's probably going to bring an end. No, a quick foul call with half a second left. And it's going to be on the Blue Ridge Lady Bobcats. Aubrey Chacha will check in for the half a second we got left in the quarter. Got some halftime stats for you here in just a minute. Try to get our broadcast up and running efficiently again. Waddy at the buzzer for three. It's off. And Robbinsville will carry a 27-16 advantage into the locker room. Stay with us here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Halftime stats, fans. Welcome back to Robbinsville High School, 27-16. Lady Knights in control of the visitors from Cashers, the Blue Ridge Lady Bobcats. Nesta Trammell at the break with 21 points. Aubrey Wachacha, Liz Carpenter, and Surrey Waddy will flesh out your scoreline with a bucket each. We'll be back, fans, in just a few minutes. You see the Black Knights warming up. They're up on tap after varsity girls action wraps up this afternoon in Graham County. We appreciate you tuning in with us. We'll talk more about our broadcast schedule moving forward on the Gramstar Sports Network. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back, fans, to Robbinsville. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan bring you tonight's telecast of Robbinsville varsity basketball. We want to thank our friends, season-long sponsors. They've been with us for all the calls so far. Blevins Electric and Blevins Insurance. You see them on the bottom right of your screen. Give them a call for all of your insurance needs. We also want to thank our friends with Lovin Equipment and Sales, Coy Adams Timber Company, and Computer Resolution, all making this telecast and every single one of them we've done so far this season possible. Let us help promote your business here on the Gramstar Sports Network. We have weekly and monthly sponsorship packages available. Give us a call for details. Surrey Waddy will casually chuck a corner three, and it'll get a little bit empty, rebounded by Vanessa Russell as the Blue Ridge Lady Bobcats trying to get into some kind of a groove here in the third quarter, down 27-16 after a stagnant second period from both teams. Trammell will miss it and rebound it again, so not a real spirited effort out on the floor tonight. And you see the end result. Surrey Waddy will pick the ball off for the Lady Knights. Desta Trammell on the floor will change your mind and try for a three-pointer. Nothing doing. Another rebound for Robbinsville. And the basket will count. 27-18. And another nice pull down. Junk ball will be called. Appreciate all of you great fans tuning in with us here on GramstarSports.com. We apologize for the technical error here tonight. Looks like our scoreboard is down for the count, and don't know if we'll get it back up or not. Quick feeds all around, and it ends up in the hands of Abby Ware for her second rebound of this half. Kinsley Phillips barely misses. Drive in, foul called. (27-18) is your split. The foul was on Abby Ware. That is her second of the game, or her third, excuse me. It comes with 5:48 to go here in the third quarter. Rebounded by Aubrey Wachacha. Both foul shots come up empty. That's actually harmed Blue Ridge a little bit here tonight. Free throws have not been very accurate nor secure. Trammell for three, and she drains it. That's Trammell taking matters into her own hands to help Robbinsville break the 30-point threshold here tonight. Kinsley Phillips will await the inbound ever so patiently right here below us. Trammell gets loose. but it's picked off. Good work. McCaughlin's transition basket counts. 30-20 is your score. And a foul called, I believe, on the floor will interrupt the proceedings. Foul was on McCaughlin, her second. Two for Abby Ware will drop in. Good work by the freshman, Abigail Ware. And rebound, nicely done. Feeds all around the horn, inside effort. Finally pays off. There's the rebound by Carpenter, and quickly dumps it off to Waddy as the ball works its way up the floor in no time. Kinsley Phillips looking for her first points of the night. Off the front of the rim. Jump ball called, maybe? No, they're going to call a foul on Abby Ware because Abby Ware is a foul magnet here tonight. 4:35 to go in the third. And it is her third of the night. Bump inside. Carpenter tries to slow down the effort, but she comes up a bit shy. And that is Macy Heltsley with two. Desta Trammell kicks it to Abby Ware and gets the assist as Ware gets two. And I believe a timeout has been called by Lucas Ford. We'll take one with him here on the Grimstar Sports Network. Back in just a moment. 4:02 to go here in the third quarter. Robbinsville 34, Blue Ridge Early College, or as we know them now, Blue Ridge School, with 22. If you're not familiar with our friends from Cashers, we'll tell you a little bit about them. The Lady Bobcats are, of course, a 1A school. They compete in the Little Smoky Mountain Conference. They do not have a football team, but however, they do have a fledgling soccer program. Basketball, of course. And sometimes they field baseball and softball teams, depending on numbers. The Little Smoky Mountain Conference branches off from the Big Smoky for some sports. As we mentioned, if you don't have a football team, you're in the Little Smoky for volleyball, basketball, that sort of thing. Springtime comes around, teams like Hiawassee Dam can normally field a baseball and softball team. Not always the case for Highlands or Blue Ridge, or Natahala for that matter. I can't even remember the last time Natahala had a softball team. Several decades, I'm sure. Liz Carpenter will drop the dime off of the Trammell assist. 36-22 here in the third. So I guess you could call it contractually. That's not really the way it works out in high school sports, but you verbally commit. How about that? You verbally commit to playing these Little Smoky schools at least one time. You can play them twice if you'd like, if you're a Big Smoky school, of course. Have to play them at least once this year, of course. This is the only pairing you'll find between Robbinsville and Blue Ridge, as 2 points drops in for Carpenter again, 38-22. Emma racking up assists. She had just one in the first half. She's already got three in the third quarter. Cardinals offense trying to come to life here in the latter half of the third period. 2:20 to go. Rebound by Kinsley Phillips. That's just her second board of the night. She's got 5 assists and 2 steals, but no points. A rare off night for Kinsley Grace here in the third quarter. Discussing the Little Smoky Mountain Conference, of course, Robbinsville will head to Hiawassee Dam on Friday. They will host Hiawassee Dam here at home in one of many schedule changes now. That game will be on Monday, February the 6th. We'll have that one on Gramstar Sports. Not sure about Friday yet, but it's not looking too good. Still awaiting word back from our friends near the Tennessee state line in Cherokee County. How about a coast-to-coast effort for two? Nice work for Blue Ridge School and Mahaley Stewart. Makes it 38-24 here in the third with 1:16 to go. Waddy will try to set up a play here, running the ball around. Trammell will get it back up at the top now. Drives in for her patented maneuver, and it does what it's supposed to do. It draws the foul. 1:04 to go in the third. Foul is on Heltzley. That's her second. Trammell pretty consistent at the foul line. Almost a sure bet when she steps up there that you got at least 2 more points. She actually set a new state record, carried over from last year to this year, making 63 consecutive foul shots. That's the best that's ever been done in North Carolina in women's basketball for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Streak was broken during the first game of the season against Smoky Mountain, but she did tack on 4 more before the streak was snapped, as a 2-pointer from Mercedes McLaughlin will cut it to 40-26 in favor of the Lady Knights. 2 more for Trammell, 42-26. Trammell now with 7 points here in the third quarter. We'll crunch final numbers, of course, at the end of the game and let you know how each player fared out, our top 3 stat leaders, as we always do after every game. Monday, the Black Knights will travel to Highlands and return the favor for a road game. Of course, Highlands came here early in the season, and now it'll be Robbinsville's turn to truck up to the plateau in Macon County. Robbinsville then will play Wednesday here at home on an odd night. Don't have Wednesday games too often in high school basketball. Trammell for 3. She's fouled and eats it hard, but buddy, did she draw the foul? Yes, indeed. 4.6 to go. And Trammell to the line for the and 1, which will make it a rare 4-point play if she drains it. And it's nothing but net. Good to see that out of Destiny Trey. 46-26, the foul was on McLaughlin. That's her 4th of the night. And that will be the end of the third. 46-26, Lady Knights. Stay with us on the Gramstar Sports Network. As the Gramstar Sports Network is streaming 5 of Robbinsville's varsity athletics this season. Volleyball and football carried us through the fall. Basketball got us through the winter, and we're still working our way through it, of course. In the spring, baseball and softball will run us to graduation. Welcome back, fans. Kevin Hensley, Montana Buchanan, with you for tonight's telecast on the Gramstar Sports Network. We are the only exclusive and authorized outlet of Robbinsville streaming for athletics. Anybody else just doing it illegally and needs to be reported immediately to our friends at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. No posers allowed, and beware of malicious links if you ever see them pop up and they don't say Gramstar Sports or NFHS Network. It's not a legitimate stream. 2 points for Mahaley Stewart. We'll get the offense rolling for the Blue Ridge Bobcats, who are down now 46-28 here in the fourth quarter. Des to Trammell with a high feed to Aubrey Wachacha. She'll overshoot it. And a foul called on the rebound. Abby Ware is rung up for number 4 on the night. Ware a little bit disgusted with the high foul count. Liz Carpenter, who's also got a high foul count, checks in. 7:06 to go in the ball game. Phillips with a deflection. Ball rolls out of bounds. As we mentioned in your background there, you see a good crowd on hand here tonight in Graham County. Packing out the gymnasium for our Lady Knights, and of course the Black Knights up next. That's the Trammell with some fancy footwork. Finally opts to go in the paint and finds the net. And it's back to a 20-point lead for the Lady Knights. Pass inside. Shot by Helsey. Foul called. Wachacha just stands there and grins. She had her arms, her legs, everything suspended in the air and somehow still rung up for her fourth foul of the night. Comes with 6:08 to go in the ball game. Here's Helsley to the line. Blue Ridge not too consistent tonight, as we've said already once, at the foul line. And Wachacha will pull down the 0 for 2 effort and get it back into the Lady Knights' hands pretty quick. Waddy in trouble. Trammell gets it. Quick kick into Wachacha for 2. Give the assist to Destiny Shea. 50-28. I know another certain Shea that may be watching tonight, rooting her on after that assist. Timeout call by the Blue Ridge Bobcats. It doesn't take much psychology to figure out how this one's playing out with 5:43 left. Robbinsville 50, Blue Ridge 28. 50-28 Robbinsville. Welcome back live to Graham County, North Carolina. And it is Lady Knights and Blue Ridge Lady Bobcats basketball on your tubes here tonight. How about a high-paced offense rebounded by Waddy, assist by Trammell, bucket by Liz Carpenter. 52-28 is the split at the moment. Effort on the floor. Blue Ridge salvages the drive, but promptly gives it to Kinsley Phillips, who may be going for her first points of the night, but she cannot finish the shot. Waddy pulled down the rebound, but the ball goes screaming out. And that turns it back over to the Lady Bobcats. Don't go anywhere, fans. We're going to have Varsity Boys on tap next. Lady Knights wrap this one up. They'll improve to 9-4 for the year. The Blue Ridge Lady Bobcats will fall to 4-7 if the score holds. Carpenter tries to put one up, can't do it. Jump ball will be called. Robbinsville Black Knights are 10-3 this year. The Blue Ridge Bobcats are 2-7. See how that one shakes out here in the main event tonight. Only 2 scheduled this evening. As we said, no varsity programs to be fielded for Blue Ridge. Keep plug for our YouTube page as Macy Helsley drops the basket for the Bobcats. If you want to get a view of the very neat gym that Blue Ridge houses their home games in, check out our YouTube page. Last year, we actually went up there with the intent of live streaming the game, but was unable to get connected on Jackson County Wi-Fi. So we ended up having to tape it, which is something that sounds like we're throwing back to 1989, and aired it later. It's a weekend where a bunch of people were snowed in, so a lot of viewers were able to watch. But you can see the game. Robbinsville Varsity Basketball at Blue Ridge School is archived, as well as other community events, sporting events, meetings, etc. on our YouTube page. Follow us at The Graham Star on YouTube. 52-30 your score with 3:38 remaining. Aubrey Wachacha will come in for Katie Lynn Gross. So if I'm doing my math right, there's only about 2 or 3 players, maybe 4 on the bench that have not checked in yet. for Robbinsville here in this 22-point game. Phillips just drops it off to Trammell. Kick into Wachacha, pass to Carpenter. And how about an assist for Aubrey Wachacha? And how about 2 points for Liz Carpenter? 54-30. Robbinsville continues to pile on. Blue Ridge with only 4 points in the fourth quarter. Foul called. They're going to bring up Waddy on that one. And they will. It's Waddy's first of the night. Vanessa Russell kicks in. Gensley Phillips tries to rip it away. Can't do so. Possession stays with the Lady Cats. 3:02 to go in the ball game. Got a whistle, blow some things dead here. First one I was tying a shoe. I'm not really sure what was going on there, but onward we roll. 3 off the inbound. It'll be off the rim. Rebounded by Vanessa Russell. And last touched by Isabella Moody. Russell out. McLaughlin in. And onward we roll. Trammell will bring the ball up the floor with a 24-point lead here in the fourth. Kinsley Phillips momentarily all alone, just looking to play it safe. So it looks like, unfortunately, Kinsley Phillips is headed toward a scoreless game. Didn't think we'd ever have to say that sentence out loud. Maybe not. How about a three-pointer? In and out. She cannot catch a break. Abby Ware on the rebound. Can't get the put back. Macy Heltzley more than willing to clean it up and give it back to the Bobcats with 2:17 left. Two points for Mahaley Stewart and a timeout call by Blue Ridge School with 2:09 left. Is 54-34 Robbinsville. Back live from Robbinsville High School, and it is indeed the final countdown on the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you, your favorite pals of Gramstar Sports coverage. And you might see Montana out and about a little bit more now. She's our newest circulation manager for the Gramstar. Delivers our product to the newsstands each and every week. Abby Ware for 2 off of another Trammell assist. We'll have to tally all those up here in just a moment. Frankly, too many to count in the ball game. But I just did a count at 7. That's what I've got anyway. Always preliminary stats that we give you folks. Don't take them as the gospel. Foul called on the floor will break up the play. We got some folks home from school at the moment. Guess the Trammell actually charged on that foul. That's our second of the night. And a whole fresh 5 will check in for Robbinsville. So that brings an end to the starting 5 stint on the floor. And a 56-point effort. Good to see after just 33 from a rotation last night. These people here like Willow Trantham, Allie Ayers in attendance. The 1-1 Liz Carpenter was all primed and ready to break it back up the floor until she was kindly reminded by Phillip Orr that there was no need to do so. Stewart did make her first there, so that makes it 56-33. 1:42 remaining. It is bonus time for the Bobcats. 1 for 2. Looks like all they're going to get. Liz Carpenter that time gets a legal rebound. Fades it across the floor to Olivia Lewis, who's now in the game. 2-pointer, no good. Junk ball under the net. Gabby Martinez and Liz Carpenter get tangled up. Ball rolls loose. Bella Carpenter didn't even offer at it. After we put her in the Gramstar 2 weeks ago, she didn't even pick the ball up. My goodness. She's a ham anytime she wants to be, and then whenever she's got a chance to pick up a loose ball, she forgets what she's doing, I guess. Her brother Donovan will be playing here in just a moment for the Black Knights. Rebound attempt and putback, no dice. This one's academic. We're just trying to run the clock out. How about Olivia Lewis hustling? No, Liz Carpenter with a steal, but she goes sailing into the deep blue sea. Good hustle. Carpenter tonight with 5 rebounds, a steal, and 10 points. White Knight's already lined up at the locker room area, ready to get rolling here in just a moment. Inside feed to Katie Lynn Gross. She'll fling it up and get a basket. Give the assist to Olivia Lewis. 58-33 is your score. Drive in. Foul called. 48 seconds to go. And it looks like it's on Anna York, who just checked into the game. That is her first. First foul shot attempted by Vanessa Russell will come up short. Second one from Russell will be good. Anna Williams running point. Another freshman for Robbinsville. She's got some varsity playing time this year. Olivia Lewis saved the ball, but gave it back to the Bobcats and Vanessa Russell. Anna Williams bumped her a little too hard for the referee's pleasure and incurs her first foul. Gotta admire the fact that these girls are coming in a, well, this game's already wrapped up, we'll just put it that way, and still hustling the way they are. As Carpenter rebound up the floor, ball's tripped away and stolen. That's Hope Ward. Not that Hope Ward with the steal, but Liz Carpenter gets it back, and now it's just a mad tussle for the ball. Sliding all over the floor. 21 seconds to go. And on the baseline, Anna Williams again. Inbound to Liz Carpenter. All goes out. And it'll be an inbound for the Bobcats. 13 seconds remaining. And as we mentioned, fans, up next, Varsity Boys action. We'll be crunching some stats for you here in just a moment. Don't go away. We'll pop back in during warm-ups and give you your final 3 stat leaders. Low bounce. Nothing doing on the rebound. And that's going to let the puck run out. 58-34 will be your final score. Robbinsville improves to 9-4 this season. The Lady Bobcats drop to 4-7. We'll be back in just a few minutes, fans, with some final stat leaders for the Lady Knights and, of course, the Varsity Boys matchup. Don't you go anywhere. You're in the right place for Robbinsville basketball here on the Grand Star Sports Network. Still trying to crunch some numbers because there was a lot to crunch. Robbinsville wins the opening tip here in this Varsity Boys matchup, and we are underway. Make a very special announcement here. Desta Trammell has now eclipsed the 1,500-point career mark. She now has 1,512 on her resume. And a basket for the Bobcats will get Blue Ridge on the board. Anthony Baumgartner, freshman, will make the basket. I'd say Robbinsville won't take too kindly to that. Rebound by the Bobcats, though. And onward we roll. Stolen away by Wachacha, and the ball is just Tossed over near the Robbinsville bench. I'll be all she wrote for that one. Turns it over to the Knights. Bo Rattler in front of the bench will inbound it to Brock Adams. So that's Trammell with 34 tonight. Liz Carpenter had 10 as Bryce Adams gets on the board. Following the assist. Big block by Big Bryce. Sophomore from Atoa making an early impact. 2-0 your score. And Brock Adams will pluck the ball away. Flies up the floor, gets the basket. Transition bucket for Brock Adams makes it 4-2. And just like that, Robbinsville in the driver's seat. 2 steals already for Xander Wachacha. He kicks it to Bo Rattler, who tries some fancy schmancy footwork. Can't get the job done. Liz Carpenter, as we mentioned, 10 points, 6 rebounds. And everyone else for the Lady Knights in single digits tonight. So Trammell, once again, with another strong performance, 34 here tonight. And things grind to a halt. Wachacha with a floater for 2. He'll miss it. Rebounded by the Bobcats. That is Tyler Green, number 14, on the board. Ball swatted away, but nothing doing. And more pressure. Wachacha will just pluck it out from behind him. And with no pressure, another transition basket. Timeout called by Brandon Hitson, the head coach for the Bobcats. Back in just a moment. 6-2 as we come back to you live from Robbinsville. Black Knights hosting the Blue Ridge Bobcats. First time we've had a home game since December 16th. Don Carpenter tried to make him pay off the Bo Rattler steal, but an offensive charge will be called. And Carpenter's already committed his first foul of the night with 5:30 left in the first quarter. Mom told me last night he has 5 to burn because he didn't get his first one until the third quarter. Bo Rattler with another steal. Feed last second Wachacha. Adams can't get it in there. And on the putback, a foul will be called, I do believe. Nope, the ball trickled out. My apologies. Turns it over to the Bobcats. And Robbinsville sitting at the quick. Can't put over these young men enough. They have busted their humps and turned this program right around. How about an assist from Carpenter? A bucket for Rattler and a steal for Xander Wachacha. 8-2. Last year, Robbinsville finished at 500. Rebound for Carpenter there. This season, they are 10-3. As Xander Wachacha, number 3, airs out a 3, and it comes up empty. Rebounded by Eric Puskarich. But another quick steal for Wachacha. Ball rolls away. Brock Adams cleans it up. 5 steals already here in the first quarter for Xander Wachacha. Knights have not been defeated in 1A action this season. Only losses have came against 3A schools like Cott County, Pisgah. Of course, Cott County winning 63-53 the other night. Pisgah defeating Black Knights last night 65-58. That was a heartbreaker. Knights led that game until the outset of the fourth quarter. Foul there called on Ethan Henson. I'm not sure what the confusion was about there, but the refs checked the ball. Carpenter goes 2 for 2. Stolen away, Brock Adams for 2. Boy, the Bobcats cannot break this press here in the first quarter. 3 for Puskarich will be off. Rebounded by Don Carpenter. Second board for him tonight. Pass to Wachacha. Corner 3. And it's going to be off the rim. Rebounded by Isaiah Palestino. Bryce Adams for 2, in and out. Ball rebounded, it'll be an inbound. Fouls on Bryce Adams. I thought it was an inbound. My mistake. He flashed 10, but forgot Adams was 10. Sorry about that. 3:45 to go. High feed across the floor to Ethan Henson. And they're past half court. Puskarich with a bucket. In relief, he wasn't even in the starting 5 tonight. He gets one in off the bench pretty quick. And that's just the second field goal of the game for the Bobcats. It's 12-4 with 3:20 to go. Robbinsville, as tough as they've ever been, stamina unbelievable to watch. And the tenacity that they have had on display all season, remarkable to say the very least. How about 4 overtime victories already this year? Carpenter assists, and Adams' bucket makes it 14-4 here in the first. 4 overtime wins. One of those games went to double overtime. That was here at home against Cherokee. In fact, that was the North Buncombe game. The Cherokee game was just a single overtime because, hey, you got to have some thrillers. 3-pointer for Ethan Henson. And that actually trims the deficit in half, but it's still 14-7. And there is Brock Adams setting the ball up. Back to Adams for 3, and he's ready at the quick. Adams, frankly, folks, did not have a great game last night from outside. But that does not seem to be a problem tonight. Another assist for Wachacha. He has 2 points, but he's got 6 steals, and 2 assists already here in the first quarter. These Knights are fluid. They are the very definition of a team that plays basketball together. Nobody hoards the ball. Nobody tries to be the star of the show. And look what happens when you can check your attitudes at the door. You get a 10-3 record. Nathaniel Shope will check in for Robbinsville with 1:46 remaining. Big 6'6" center from Sweetwater now in the game. He pops out to the right. Caleb Draper, a senior, also on the floor at the top of the key there. Passes over to Brock Adams. Adams to Wachacha. Feed in to Shope. Low pass to Carpenter. Good pass. Wachacha for 3. And he'll hit it. 20-7. Give the assist to Brock Adams. 1:10 to go in the opening stanza. Robbinsville already with 20 points on the board. Brock Adams will pluck the ball away and drop the transition. 22-7, timeout called with 58 seconds to go. Robbinsville running away already with the ball game. 22-7 as we're back live here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan bringing you tonight's telecast. Black Knights basketball is our only broadcast of the week. We'll be back on the air next Wednesday as Robbinsville welcomes Cotton County, Tennessee, who comes across the mountain from Newport to return the favor after Robbinsville traveled over there on Friday. In between that, Robbinsville will squeeze in some home games, or road games, I beg your pardon. Friday at Hiawassee Dam and Monday at Highlands. We're still working to secure broadcaster rights for those games. We'll see how that plays out. As a long 3 from Eric Puskarich gets the Bobcats into double digits here in the first quarter. 25 seconds to go. check in for the Bobcats out of the game is Riley Nicholson, and in is Tyler Green. I should go mark that as a 2, my mistake. They had it as a 3 on the board to start with for Puskarich. Thought he was actually way behind the arc, but evidently not. Onward we roll. 6 seconds to go. And last second dish down the floor will not come out the way the Bobcats wanted to. 0.3 on the clock. Wachacha's going to try to air it out, but he can't. 22-9. Robbinsville in full control here in the early going against the Bobcats. We'll be right back on the Gramstar Sports Network. White Knight fans, it seems like we were not the only ones confused about Mr. Puskarich's shot in the first quarter. They've changed the scoreboard yet again, and for now it stands as a 3-pointer. And we're back with you live from Graham County at the outset of the second. Robbinsville up 22-10. It will be a Blue Ridge inbound right here below us for Tyler Green and the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Ball stolen away by Shope. And flying up the floor, dunk attempt for Don Carpenter, but he came up a little bit empty before he even took flight. Ball be inbounded by the Bobcats. Caleb Draper still in there playing some tough defense. Shope with another steal. Bo Rattler back to Shope for 2. And nothing doing there. Another rebound, this time for Brock Adams. High kick all the way across the coast to Wachacha. He'll miss it. Quick rebound again, this time by Puskarich. (22-10) with 7:02 remaining here in the first half. Ball stolen away again. And Adams can't finish his shots, so 3 steals and a rebound now for Nathaniel Shope. Brock Adams is going to casually try a 3-pointer. It'll careen out of bounds. And the ball is turned over. As we always do, fans, we will crunch numbers at halftime and let you know who's leading the way for Robbinsville. It's a crowded stat line already here tonight. 22-10 your score, but a lot of steals and rebounds and assists and even a fancy block from Brock Adams. How about Quinn Jumper getting on the thievery action? Gets his first of the night. Kick across from Bryce to Bo Rattler. Caleb Draper in the corner. Gets inside. Shope for 2. And Shope will get it. Give the assist to Brock Adams and Nathaniel Shope in the scorebook. 24-10. Been a pretty clean game so far. Only 4 fouls, called. That one is on Quinn Jumper. His first of the night. 5:49 left in the half. Another foul Actually, the ball goes out. Check that. My mistake. Had a rogue fan up here we had to run off. Rebound. And a foul called. Anthony Baumgartner draws the effort. No, excuse me, that's Riley Nicholson. Saw the 5 and thought it was Mr. Baumgartner. My mistake. The foul is on Nathaniel Shope. 5:32 left in the half. And ball almost rebounded by Nathaniel Shope, but it goes out and about. And we'll try it again. It'll be another Blue Ridge inbound. Rebound by Bryce Adams. And that will result in a foul as well on Shope's attempted jumper. Foul is called on Tyler Green. That'll be his first. And Shope misses his first. Lane violation will end the effort nonetheless. Robbinsville Middle School basketball finished the regular season yesterday at home against Murphy. Pair of tough losses. The Lady Knights fell 45-37, and the White Knights dropped their game 52-42. Basket there for Ashton Zachary gets him in the score column tonight. And it cuts it to 24-12 as well. Bryce Adams to Shope inside. He tried. Ends up giving it back to Adams, who will draw the foul with 4:23 to go. And Adams will go for attempt number 2 here, and he'll get it. So 1 of 2, it's a foul line. It's Bryce Adams. That foul, by the way, was on Ashton Zachary, his first of the night. Well, it's been a foul-heavy quarter after not much of it in the first. 25-12 is your score. Ball stolen away by Shope. 4 steals and a rebound. 2 points as well for the junior center, Nathaniel Shope. And ball gets away from Bo Rattler. Nate Beasley is going to empty out his reserves here tonight if he can. Game like this, you don't want to hurt your starting 5 no more than you have to. Coming off a tough tilt with 2 road games, long road games, both with trips to Interstate 40 on Friday and Monday. And, of course, at Hayesville on Tuesday of last week. Robbinsville undefeated in Smoky Mountain Conference play. They are 5-0. And will begin their second run through the conference very soon, as they're on a quest for their first conference championship since 2015. Rebound by Bo Rattler. Ball get turned over to the Bobcats. Pads, if we can get things secured for next week, we'll be more than happy to give you broadcasts from Highlands, and we'll try for Friday as well at Hiawassee Dam. If that happens, check our social media. We'll update you as soon as we get word that we can do so. Well, away games are always tough to get to. Bobcats inbound. Ball stolen away eventually by Rattler. 3 steals tonight for the senior. Number 4 there on the bottom left corner of your screen, moving into the bottom center now. Lane jumper to Caleb Draper. How about jumper for a 3? And it's going to be short of the mark. Anthony Baumgartner. Hard slide. Boy, Draper had so much forward momentum. He looked like a horned frog out there on the floor. And he stuck the landing, which got a nice round of applause from the student section here below us. Draper taunting me down the floor about my Georgia Bulldogs shirt I have on tonight. No shame. Go Dogs. Back-to-back national champs. I had to live through the years when the Georgia Bulldogs played in the Liberty Bowl. So I am more than happy to see national titles come our way. Isaiah Palestino on the rebound for the Bobcats. Tyler Green thought about a 3, changed his mind, shirked inside. Rebound again, this time for Bryce Adams. His 3rd of the night. Drives in. Putback no good as well, and a foul called. .144 to go. And that's the 5th foul of the game, or excuse me, the 4th for the Bobcats overall. Number 14, and Tyler Green with his 2nd foul. Down to 1:44 left. And a 1-for-2 trip to the line again for Bryce Adams. Actually, 26-12. Ball stolen away. Wachacha, who else? Thank you very much. Gets a steal and a bucket. 28-12. Ball rolls away. Almost a backcourt. Good effort to save it by Puskarich. .110 to go in the half. Glenn Jumper intercepts it. He'll politely dump it off to Wachacha, who'll drive in and get yet another transitional bucket. He had 5 last night. Tonight he has 2. Once again, fans, we recap all the latest Black Knights action in the Graham Star each and every week. Grab your copy on newsstands tomorrow. The only thing that'll stop you from getting it's a flat tire from Montana Buchanan, and let's hope and pray that does not happen. Once she gets filled up with Chick-fil-A, she should be in good shape. Oh, Rattler dumps it off the jumper assist. 32-12. And that one's going to miss the mark. And bring it in to the first half. The Bobcats only with 2 points on the board in the stanza. Robbinsville gets to double digits. And we'll pause and crunch a few numbers for you fans back in just a moment on the Graham Star Sports Network. 32-12, Black Knights. They can't help but dance when play that funky music plays. Robbinsville up 32-12 over Blue Ridge School. How about Zetter Wachacha with 9 points, 7 steals already tonight, and 2 assists. Brock Adams with 9 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 rebound. Bryce Adams with 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. If I did that, my chiropractor would be hearing from me at 8:30 in the morning. Back in just a moment on the Graham Star Sports Network. This is your exclusive home for Robbinsville Athletics, and we are streaming it all season long. Live from southwestern North Carolina, this is the Graham Star Sports Network, and we're bringing you Robbinsville versus Blue Ridge basketball here tonight on this Tuesday evening in Graham County. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan manning the camera for us tonight over here to our left, doing a great job bringing you into the action. Hope you're enjoying our enhanced telecast. Our scoreboard died on us earlier tonight. We'll have to work that out down the road. Sorry about that. But we will keep it rolling for you fans nonetheless. I want to thank our season-long sponsor again, our friends at Blevins Insurance and Blevins Electric. You see them on the bottom right of your screen. Be sure and give them a call for all of your electrical and insurance needs. We flash sponsor graphics on the screen as much as we can. Loving Equipment and Sales, Computer Resolution, and Coy Adams Timber Company, which we don't have a graphic for, but they've all contributed to the good cause of bringing you Robbinsville Athletics all year long. Don Carpenter still goes for naught as the ball careens out of bounds as Blue Ridge basketball. 7:33 to go in the half. After this one's over, folks, we'll go back to the Graham Star office and we'll fill out the rest of our stories that we're filing for this week and have it for you in tomorrow's print edition as it hits newsstands. E-edition will come out, of course, tomorrow morning. 14 pages on tap for you this week. We've got some newsy items on the front page. You don't want to miss it. We've got an update on the new medical provider for Smoky Mountain Urgent Care. They're out, but the county is working diligently and has moved swiftly and should be very, very much commended for the work they've done to get a medical provider back into that facility. 3 for Brock Adams comes up empty with Chacha rebound. Carpenter cleans it up off the front. Bryce Adams' rebound goes awry, rebounded by the Bobcats. That is Ethan Henson on the board. Also, a town alderman resigned earlier this week. New front entrance for Robbinsville Middle School is aesthetically pleasing as it comes. And, of course, we have an update on the voter challenges from Lake Santitla. High price tag for round 1. We'll see if the other 7 cost just as much. Corner 3 for Henson will be empty-handed back in the paint. Henson gets fancy and finds the net for 2. Bo Rattler, fresh haircut, will feed it back over. He and Adams continue to just trade the ball back and forth. And in the end, Don Carpenter takes a shot at a three-pointer. Comes up empty. Henson again, back-to-back baskets for sophomore forward Tyler Green. Excuse me, Ethan Henson, I beg your pardon on that one. 32-16. Low feed from Wachacha. Carpenter cleans that up. Drops in eventually. First points of the half for Robbinsville. Carpenter, normally a scoring threat, has only got 2 tonight, but a lot of playing time for some of the up-and-comers. Well, your starter's probably not going to have career games here tonight. Two-pointer for Henson. Henson making an impact here in the second half. 6 points already for the Blue Ridge Bobcat. 34-18 your score. Brock Adams across the coast to Don Carpenter. High rebound by Tyler Green. Stolen away. Adams not satisfied with that outcome. Gives Robbinsville another crack at it with Chacha with the rebound. His second board of the game, second one of the half. He didn't have any in the first half. See Ann Smallwood sitting over there watching the proceedings, our athletic trainer here at Robbinsville High School. Needless to say, does a tremendous job keeping our athletes in shape, checking on them when they're injured, doing PT with them. Santa Machacha's three, stolen on the next transition by Bo Rattler. Rebound for Bryce Adams will result in a foul. .421 to go in the third. Foul is on Riley Nicholson. That is his third of the game. First, excuse me. I didn't change the scoreboard quick enough. It's a post still about down there running the scoreboard tonight. Go Braves. Nicholson will check out, and Isaiah Palestino will check in as Bryce Adams goes 1 for 2. Bo Rattler gets the offensive rebound, though. And Robbinsville will gladly set up a play here. One of those games where you can dig deep into your playbook. Try out some stuff in live action. See how it turns out. A lot different when you're playing opponents versus scrimmaging inter-squad. Brock Adams assists to his brother Bryce. Tongue-tied there. For 2. Also in this week's edition of the Graham Star fans, you'll be able to find an update on the health director resigning for Graham County last week. We've got her explanation in her own words, so you'll want to check that out. New finance officer for Robbinsville already out of office after getting hired. Short stint on the job. Find out why. There's always good reasons to read the Graham Star, folks. If you're missing out, it is truly your loss. We have subscription tiers available all across the board. In-county subscriptions start at $39.99 for a year. Out-of-county, $54.99, and you get 52 editions a year. I'll let you do the math. That's a pretty good deal. You're saving money left and right. Carpenter drives in, gets the basket. And modest applause from the fans below us here in Robbinsville. Mostly Graham County fanatics here tonight. Got a few folks here from Jackson County. Good to see them, of course, on hand. Always privileged to have our friends here from the Plateau. About a Bryce Adams steal, drive, misses it. Hits hard. Don Carpenter somehow came up with that rebound. I'm not sure if he even knows how he got a hold of it. Wachacha for 3. All net. Another assist for Brock Adams. Point guard doing what the point guard is supposed to. 5 assists here tonight for senior Brock Adams. Now playing close D on Ethan Henson. Rebounded by Xander Wachacha. Like Palestino might got his hand stepped on in a collision with Brock Adams. Wachacha gets the rebound and goes coast to coast for 2. He's on a flurry here in the late portion of the third. Rebound for Bo Rattler. Kick into Donovan Carpenter and a rare miscue for Robbinsville. Timeout call by the Bobcats. It is 47-18 Robbinsville. Stay with us on the Graham Star Sports Network. .154 and counting. Let's go here in the third quarter. Robbinsville leading this one comfortably, 47-18 over the Blue Ridge Bobcats. I might be a little partial to saying Bobcats. I grew up in Gilmer County, Georgia, and that was the home of the Bobcats. Purple and white attack. truly moving to Graham County about 3.5 years ago. This feels like home to me now. And it is home. It's where I want to be. And very privileged that Robbinsville's given us the reins to telecast broadcast their streaming rights for sports. As Caleb Draper gets an assist and Donovan Carpenter gets a bucket. (49-18) rebound for Don C. Coming off a broken collarbone, he looks like he hasn't missed a step. Collarbone broken. He was our quarterback, of course, for football this year. Broken against Cherokee. Missed him for the rest of the season. He came back about 2 weeks into basketball, so mid-December. And needless to say, has made quite an impact since then. 1:01 on the clock, and it stops for the foul. That's Ashton Zachary with ring up number 3. Bryce Adams pushes us to the 50-point mark, making his first. And then making his second. And now an all-new 5 on the floor. Good to see that. Caleb Draper, Quinn Jumper, Nathaniel Shope, Luke Lovin, and Austin Crisp making an appearance. 3-pointer for Ethan Henson, who's been a bright spot for the Bobcats here in this quarter. 9 points, and they all belong to Mr. Henson. Crisp flings the ball away, and nobody's going to save it. (51-21). Luke Lovin running point as he does for the JV Knights. Of course, JVs didn't play tonight, so they're fresh as daisies out there on the floor. Ball picked off by Eric Puskarich and will drive in for a quick transition basket. 51-23 on the steal. 8 seconds to go here in the third. Clock ticking fast. Caleb Draper will kick it to Chris. He'll go for 3, and he almost got it. And boy, did the team almost erupt. 51-23 as we step away for just a moment on GramStarSports.com. We're here on GramStarSports.com. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan, privileged to be bringing you another night of Knights basketball. Foul right off the bat will grind us to a halt. Looks like the offender is Quinn Jumper. That's his second of the evening. No need to get too foul crazy in a game like this. Puskarich will miss his first, Robbinsville will head to Hiawassee Dam Friday, Highlands Monday, and will be back home next Wednesday against Cocke County, Tennessee. Last game we mentioned there will be on GramStarSports.com. We have no earthly idea about the Hiawassee Dam or Highlands games, but we'll post an update on our social media. Follow us. We have 4 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll post updates to our Facebook and Twitter for sure if we get broadcasting rights to Hiawassee Dam or Highlands. Austin Crisp tried a 3. This one off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Nathaniel Shope. Jumper jumped and drew a foul. Nathaniel Shope tonight with 3 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 points. Foul's on Puskarich. That'll be his first. Team 5th of the half. Quinn Jumper will miss the first effort he puts up. The legendary Tatum Bridges has joined us for the final quarter of the game. Really checking in late. Jumper goes 1 for 2 at the line. So he'll get his name in the score column tonight. Pair of foul shots on each end of the floor is all we got to show here in the fourth. Dane Knott and Isaiah Brown now in the game for Robbinsville. I'd say your starters are all but finished at this point. 2 for Anthony Baumgartner. And that cuts it to 52-26. Dane Knott had the ball. Fades over to Austin Crisp. Luke Lovin at the point. They'll try it again. Knott for 3. Off the side of the rim. Rebounded by the Bobcats. And Baumgartner will kick it out to Puskarich, who's going to run point. He'll drive in. And a wild toss. Looks like he's safe and sound. And Isaiah Brown, not in the game long enough to do any damage, but he drew a foul nonetheless. And Puskarich will go to the line and make his first. 52-27. 2 for 2. Fans slowly heading to the exits. This one getting over a little bit more expressly than both sides thought or hoped for, I'm sure. All over creation, but it ends up eventually in Nathaniel Shope's hands. He gets his fourth points of the night. Ball rolled across about 3 of the Bobcats' shoulders, and they couldn't slow it down. 5:51 left. Puskarich didn't like his look, just patiently waited there in the lane to dump it off. Henson got fancy, and he paid for it. Turns it over to the Black Knights. 1, 2, 3 JV players on the floor right now. Dane Knott, one of them, inbounds it to Luke Levin. This new rule in North Carolina where you can play multiple quarters in a single day has been huge for depth issues, especially at the 1A level when you have depth issues. Players like Levin and Knott and Isaiah Brown over on the right side get a chance to shine at the varsity level and get a crack at it, a taste of it, if you will. Dane Knott's 2 will go nowhere. Luke Levin tried to dribble, and the referees weren't buying it. Travel called. 5:02 to go. High dish. Isaiah Brown steals it away, but it's stolen right back. Puskarich to the basket. Nothing doing. Luke Levin rebound. Dane Knott shut down on the other end, and Henson will be called for a foul. .437 remaining in tonight's ball game. Dane Knott will drop a foul shot. And he goes 2 for 2. Back up to a double deficit. 56-28 Robbinsville. 3-pointer for Puskarich, and he'll find nothing but pay dirt. 4:16 to go. Austin Crisp to Dane Knott. 4-3. That's off the front of the rim. Rebounded. Good passes, good hustle for the Bobcats. Puskarich again for 2. .56-33. One more moment, fans. We'll thank our sponsors one last time. You see our friends on the screen from Blevins Electric and Blevins Insurance. They have been our sponsor year-round. And we've promoted as much as we can. Now we can really drive the point home. Give them a call for all of your insurance needs. Lovin Equipment and Sales, Coy Adams Timber Company, and Computer Resolution in Robbinsville, all also on board with us, helping us make our telecast possible all season long on our newest venture, GramstarSports.com. Brown dumps the ball away. Mad scramble down the floor. Uskarich will get it from Anthony Baumgartner. Foul called. And it's on Luke Levin. That is his first. 3 minutes to go. Uskarich 1 of 2. Nate Knott will bring it up the floor for Robbinsville. Low feed from Brown to Shope. Daniel Shope now with 6 points here tonight. Shot blocked. Isaiah Brown doing big things. They call him Iron Man. And he just swatted that one to the ground. Like a superhero should. Foul called on the putback. And it's actually going to be 1-1 now. Bonus time coming for Robbinsville. That was on Puskarich. That's his second. Isaiah Brown get a crack at the foul line. And he'll miss his first. Nathaniel Shope right there to clean it up, though. Odd potato to Levin. Back to Isaiah Brown. Drops it low to Knott. Inside to Levin. Back out to Austin Crisp. And ball trickles out. Ball squirms away. Picked up by Puskarich. And stolen away this time by Dane Knott. Feed to Brown for 2. Boy, that was a beautiful play. Steal and an assist for Dane Knott. And a basket for Iron Man. I prefer to call him Hulk Hogan, but nonetheless, we'll roll on. 60-34, brother. Ball's loose. Rebounded by Anthony Baumgartner. He'll drive in and drop a basket. We're in the latter stages, folks. 1:22 left. As of now, our next telecast will not be until next Wednesday. Here at home against Cotton County, Tennessee, Robbinsville will travel to Hiawassee Dam on Friday and Highlands on Monday for more Little Smoky Mountain Conference action. Bobcats will call one final timeout just to plug in a fresh 5 here in the latter stages of the ball game. Robbinsville can't really do that. They've already plugged in all their 5. 60-second pause as they work things over on the Gramstar Sports Network. 1:07 to go. Don't tune out as soon as we end the broadcast, though, fans. We're going to be more than happy to crunch the stat leaders from this one. Tell you who did what as our top 3 stat leaders go for the Black Knights, and then we'll sign off and bid you adieu for the evening. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Your purchase, of course, goes to a good cause. A portion of the proceeds will be donated right back to the program you're watching. So basketball will get a cut of this. Football and volleyball already got their share. Brown for two again, couldn't get the job done. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Good hustle by Isaiah Palestino. .22 seconds left. All stolen away again. Not again. Big collision. No harm, no foul, pardon the pun. And now Shope puts up another one. Luke 11 assists. And that may be the final points of the night for the Black Knights. The hope and prayer. Bells take out the Wachacha family, thank goodness. And Robbinsville picks up an easy peasy 62-38 victory. The win pushes Robbinsville to 11-3 on the season. The Bobcats drop to 2-8. We'll step aside for just a moment and crunch the top stat leaders back in just a moment on GramstarSports.com. Welcome back, fans. 62-38 is going to be your final split here tonight. Robbinsville improves to 11-3. The Blue Ridge Bobcats fall to 2-8. Xander Wachacha led the offense again for Robbinsville. 17 points here tonight. 7 steals, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Bryce Adams with 11 points, 5 rebounds, a block, and a steal, with Brock Adams recording 9 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 rebounds. Fans, we will be back on the air next Wednesday for sure here at home against Cotton County, Tennessee. As we mentioned, if we can get broadcasting clearance for Hiwassee Dam and Highlands, we'll have those for you as well, and we'll update you on social media as soon as we find out for sure. For Montana LeRae, who's anxious to go grab El Pacifico before they close at 9 o'clock, I'm Kevin Hensley. Have a good evening, everybody.